Okay, so what have we got here? Now, we have been sticking the batteries together or joining them together with solder. So we decided we'd try something different. And we ordered this online. And it's a battery spot welder. So let's go assemble and test it. As you can see here now, this is what we've got. No instructions. And the picture online shows, well, down here you have your capacitor, which is here, and over here you have your little beeper buzzer. That seems to be missing. Just so happens I was taking apart some things. I like to take things apart, as you may have noticed. I found a little buzzer. It's a little 12-volt buzzer, and this little welder board here works 12 volt. So I reckon it should do. Small bit of soldering involved. Capacitor, buzzer, and then you have your little crimps. These ones are already pre-crimped, so we're not going to have to worry about that. These are just the little sleeves that go over, so maybe so you can avoid a shock. You have 4 nuts and bolts here for the 4 holes here, and you have some spot welding strip. So let's get started. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention these 2 little short lengths of cable. Now these are meant to be used to connect the board to a battery. But I mean, they're not very long. You could waste your time, okay, putting the little crimps onto them and then find that it's not going to reach the battery. So if you have any other leads, ideally with crocodiles on one end, then you can use 2 of the crimps and then put it to the board, so you'll be able to connect and disconnect at your leisure. You'll only need a couple of things for this. Little snips, some solder, and a soldering iron. Now also what I use is I may use a little bit of flux paste as well. Now the capacitor, if you're unfamiliar with capacitors, the line down the side is your negative, and it can also be seen that the positive leg is longer. So what we do, and the picture shows that this is actually lying down on the board. So what we'll do then is, again, we have a negative, so it's going to lie that way. And generally on a board, it's either marked positive or the little solder point will be square. Not always the case, but in this case, it's almost idiot proof. So again, we'll just lie it down as it should be with the positive on the longer leg, and then just bend them at 90 degrees and feed them through. Just like that. Now it will be a lot more coming out underneath, but once it's soldered, then we can nip them off. Now the little buzzer, again, it's not supplied in it, but the buzzer, it actually shows positive. Just says positive there, and if it doesn't say positive, it's generally the one with the writing on it on the side, while the other one is negative. Now this one again, it actually has a tiny little positive there, and on the board, same thing again. The positive is shown here and the negative is shown there. Now ideally keep it a little bit proud of the surface of the board. It was like that on the previous board I removed it, so I'm going to keep it the same that way. So fit it onto the board, make sure again you have the positive and negative in the right place, turn it upside down, and then you're ready to solder. Now probably just need to balance it ever so slightly. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of flux paste on the solder points. Now the soldering iron is I am using a rechargeable cordless, and this particular one, it's you press the on button under here, red light comes on and you wait for it to go green. Now it's used to be up to 45 seconds, but I replaced the rechargeable battery in it and now it comes in at about 24 seconds. So as soon as it goes green, we're ready to solder. Now it's gone green, so we're ready to go. And all looks good. So you can see there they're soldered into place. And then what we do then is we just, with the little cutters, we just nip off the surplus. So it'll look nice and neat, and everything looks to be in place. Next, now we connect it up and then we'll see what happens. So that's it assembled, and you'll be able to see then the way it goes. Sometimes there might be a little bit of confusion, but it says quite plainly here out. So out would go to the probe or electrode, and the little sleeve there is actually a heat shrink. So what I've just brought that down a little bit just around near the tip, so it makes it easier to hold. And now then you have your positive contact. Now there's two here. One goes to the little electrode and the other one goes to a battery. Now unfortunately the nuts, they've actually manufactured the holes too close together, so that when you try to put on the second nut it doesn't go on. But it doesn't matter that these two holes are actually connected to each other on the board itself, so 2 into 1 doesn't really matter. And then you have your ground. It says B negative ground, and that's for your battery. So these two here are your battery, these two here are for your probes or electrodes or sticks. So when you connect it up to your battery, you just hear a little beep, and just make sure these are not touching. Then you have a little button here. The little button is an on-off button, and it also controls how much you're going to push out. So just press it the once and you'll get it flashing just the once. You can probably see it there. And if you press the button and hold it, it'll beep again and go to the intermediate, let's say. And now you can see it's flashing twice quickly. That's now it's going to push out a little bit more of a kick. And if you hold it again, press it down and hold it again, and it'll flash 3 times very fast. Now again, if you hold it down again, it goes red, and I believe that's the manual setting. So what we do is we're going to try and do a battery now on the first setting. So we'll just go back. So it's going back to, now it's switched off. So we press it the once, and that's the lowest setting. Now with the little bit of solder strip that came, we'll just give it a go on a battery. So just for convenience sake, any battery. So what we do then is we'll just get it in, hold it into place. Now press down on it and then press down on the other one. Wow, that was seriously strong. I think I've actually gone right through, right into the battery almost. So, and these got quite warm. Maybe I should get a slightly smaller battery. But it definitely did work. Let's just unplug it there from the battery itself. And let's just have a look at that. Now it didn't go into the battery, but it did make a good connection there. So it definitely works. And for $25, we're doing some serious battery spot welding with this. Again, it does recommend that you don't use anything more than a 45 amp battery. Now I had a partially charged battery and it's 74 amp, so I probably went way too high. That's probably why this is like this. Now it's not sure whether it's safe to use that battery, but I'll do a test on it, and if it is, then I will use it. Maybe in some project that can, never know. Well, I hope you found this useful. If you have any questions about this, just drop it in the comments below. If you like it, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to share, and you'll find us on the usual social media platforms.